Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we're going to review Scarlet Nexus for the Xbox Series X. So, I bought this game because I liked the demo. I liked the combat in the demo. I was like, yeah, you know what, man? I want to try that. I want to play that. That seems pretty cool. So, a little bit of backstory. Normally, unless it's like a Final Fantasy or like near well, no, unless it's like a Final Fantasy or like a Yakuza or Shenmue or something like that. Normally, I don't really go for the JRPGs. I've kind of, since I was a teenager, I did play them a lot back in the PlayStation 1 days and Sega Dreamcast, stuff like that. But as I started getting older, I kind of stepped away from those. Didn't really play a lot last generation. Definitely, I think I skipped the whole PlayStation 3 generation and Xbox 360 of doing any JRPGs. So I've been kind of like trying to find my way back to them a little bit, because I used to like them. I used to really like them a lot. I did play Nier Automata and Nier Replicant. Both of those are amazing games. Honestly, the reason why I bought Nier Automata was because I wanted to see. I was in the Xbox One X enhanced list, and I saw that, so I went and picked that up, and ended up loving it. So when Nier Replicant came out, I decided to buy that as well. So. What does any of that have to do with Scarlet Nexus? Well, Scarlet Nexus is one of those games that on first glance, if I had not played the demo, I would have been like, nope. When I was watching, like the demos and stuff for that, or reveals and trailers and stuff for that, I was like, nope, doesn't even look good. So I downloaded the demo though. On the Xbox Series X, because I was like, you know what, man, I might as well just let's give it a try. I was bored, so I downloaded the demo and I ended up liking the combat. I mean, at first I was like, ooh, gosh, I don't know about this, but I liked the combat and the characters. The characters, kind of, like really. That's what kind of hit me first, was the characters. I was like, wow, man, these guys aren't freaking annoying like they most of the time they are in JRPGs. So I was like, okay, yeah, I can dig this. So I went ahead and I pre-ordered it right then. I purchased it. I bought it for the Xbox Series X. And I'm about... The thing says 43 hours or something. 43 hours of gameplay. I don't completely believe that, just because of the fact that I'm on the very last stage of the game right now as it sits. The only reason I'm doing this review before beating the game is because I'm kind of time constrained right now, and I will be for a little while. So I wanted to get this review out because I really like this game, and it definitely deserves the attention right now that it deserves the attention. Okay, so let's start with some interesting stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go with performance first. Okay, performance and bugs and stability and all of that. This game is freaking next to perfect. I have not seen one instance of slowdown, screen tearing, no bugs, no glitches, no getting stuck in the environment. Everything has been on point. It has worked exactly like it should be. I mean, it's a nice, smooth 60 frames a second. Everything works, even when it goes into like little animations or cutscenes for special moves and stuff. Perfect. Right on the money. It's nice and fast and fluid. It's good. The performance and the visuals of the performance of this game is perfect. There is, I mean, like, I mean, I haven't seen anything that would make me think otherwise. And I've been through a lot of freaking hectic stuff in this game. So, yeah, I am going to give this a good review when it comes to performance and playability and, you know, quality. It's definitely getting that stamp of quality for me. So, yes. Next up, we're going to go with characters, okay? There's good, you know, you got about you've got about 8, 9, 10, you know, 10 characters, you know, for the most part that are like really, really like always in your face, you know, type deal. And then there's some other ones that kind of branch out and stuff. I do not hate a single one of these characters. I like all of them. They all well, I mean, there might be one that I'm just like, okay, whatever, but like he's not in it enough to where I'm like, okay, whatever. But I mean, like I kind of have, you know, like kind of grown attached to basically all of the characters in this game. Okay, normally when I play a JRPG, the freaking characters are like the Yuffie DLC, annoying. Like I just it gets to be too much, you know, sometimes. Like the Yuffie DLC for me, I have basically it's in my backlog. So I mean, I want to play it, I want to get through it and complete it. I mean, I guess, you know, it can't be too long, but oh my gosh, like the character, like I get annoyed with it. It's not that I get annoyed with it, it's just it's too much, and I'm more of a serious person, and that kind of stuff, you know, just it's hard for me to like to relate to it, so it's hard for me to play it and like get immersed in it. It breaks the immersion too much, and so it's hard. Okay, so Scarlet Nexus, the characters are freaking are pretty good. Yeah, they're a little bit, you know, aimed toward, you know, like the 20, you know, like the younger group or whatever, but they also have that, you know, that older, you know, sensibilities about them that make them it makes me reminisce of how I was when I was in my early 20s and stuff like that, and that's not bad, you know. I can relate with that a lot easier than I can, you know, just the complete crazy like 16-year-old stuff, you know. And that's what like Yuffie reminds me of, is like a 16-year-old, whereas the characters in Scarlet Nexus are like 20 to 25. So that right there, I like that. That definitely helps me stay immersed in the combat and the story and the gameplay and stuff. So, you got Yuito. I'm playing as Yuito right now. Freaking love this character. He's got that sense of, he's got like that good, he wears his feelings on his sleeve, and that's cool. I like that about him. He's a stand up guy, and I appreciate that. That makes me happy that this character is written well enough to where it's like, wow, man, that dude's actually pretty cool. Like I like him. He's not like angsty teen or whatever. He's like, hey man, you know, like he's a good dude. Like he's a good dude. He's the kind of guy you would want as your friend, and that makes it easy to relate to and easy to care about his story and what's going on. So, and then you got his, I'm gonna call it the side. I don't know. Like if I had to pick one of them to be his girl, I'd pick Hanabi. She's pretty cool, and it's like she's been there, you know, like basically since, you know, like since the beginning, like one of the first characters, you know, that I made. Hanabi is pretty cool too. Like I like her. She's got that like, I don't know. She's just got that warm like attitude to her, and she's not like, you know, ridiculous like bouncing all over the place, you know. I mean, like these characters are really well written, so I really like them. I have not played the Kasane side of the story yet. I will get around to that after I'm done with Yuito's side, so I might do another follow-up about that. But then you have Tsugumi, really, really quiet, you know, like I like her too, you know. I mean, she's like all of these characters are like, they're basically, in my mind, they're pretty close to freaking, I wouldn't say perfect, because I don't really think any characters are ever perfect, but these guys are pretty freaking cool. They definitely stand out. It took me a while to actually remember like Yuito's name and like how to say it and stuff, and it's funny because they're like always screaming it like, "Go Yuito," you know. And I mean, it's cool. Like it's not that, I mean, it's like, it is over the top, but it's not over the top. You know what I mean? It's like, it's still good. So, basically, I'm going to talk a little bit about the story now that I've talked about the characters. So, the story is basically you are in a, you basically are in a society where people have, you know, natural powers or whatever. Okay, so like you got powers, you know, like telekinesis or pyrokinesis or, you know, clairvoyance, stuff like that. Okay, so everybody has like their own little power, you know, or like whatever. So if you have power, you're either A, scouted to be part of the OSF. It's like an elite team of not superheroes, but like I would say like army or police or like SWAT or something. You know, you could just liken them to the SWAT or whatever. So you have it's the OSF, okay, and then there's the monsters, which are called the Others, and they are basically mutated. They're like a cross between a plant and any kind of an animal, like a horse, a dog, a human, basically anything. And they basically eat brains or whatever, okay? So as the OSF, every time these monsters like come into the city limits or whatever, then you're detached to go and take care of them, you know? And then you go on missions or stuff like that, okay? So basically that's the gist of the story. You're basically an OSF that you're going to go and take out these monsters when you have a mission to do that. That's all I'm going to tell you about the story, because you need to play this yourself, and you need to like go through the story beats and stuff to kind of understand, so it makes sense. It does, like, the story is going along fine. You're like, yeah, this is great, and then boom, it takes like a freaking J turn, and you're like, woo, man, what the freak was that? And then it starts to get even more interesting, and like, I mean, I was already hooked, you know. I mean, like, not hooked, but I was in the mood, you know, like, I'm like, yeah, you know, I mean, if this story keeps going like this, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I can finish this game, no problem. Like, I like it. I like the gameplay. But then the story takes like a freaking turn, and it starts getting even better. I'm like, wow, dude, that's not bad. I mean, that's even cooler. Like, it's definitely convincing, but at the same time, like, I like the story to the point where it's like, man, I mean, I'm not like 100% in love with it. I mean, but it is good. It definitely keeps you engaged to continue playing this game, and it makes you care about things. And it's like, I'm at the last of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to see more. I want to finish this and see how. I want to see the conclusion, you know, and everything. So, I definitely am going to finish this game tonight, and I might make do a little follow up. On how everything turns out. But as it sits right now, like, I'm more than satisfied with what I've played. I'm pretty content with it, and I do believe that this is one of those JRPGs that should be like, you should definitely give this one a try. If you only got, I'll do like how I normally review them. If you've only got $60 for the next 3 to 6 months, like, seeing as this is a JRPG, I mean, you can definitely get more playtime out of it than like a single player, you know, linear story. I mean, this world is pretty linear, like, but you do kind of go back to, you know, certain areas, you know, like a few times. So, I would say that, like, you could probably knock this game out in about 20 hours of gameplay, straight gameplay. Some of the stuff, you know, in there, like the filler stuff, does kind of bog that time down a little bit, but you can skip every single bit of it if you want to, like, skip all the story and just, I mean, yeah, you could probably get this down to about 15 hours, you know, like skipping everything, like every dialogue and everything like that. You could probably whittle this down to about 15 hours of actual gameplay, but you could also increase that 20 to, I bet if you wanted to do everything in this game, you could probably, both characters, both stories, you could probably get this to about 60, maybe 70 hours or so. So when it comes to that, like, being able to max out that time to get to, you know, $1 per hour of play, yeah, that's easier. That's easier for me to recommend because there's enough content in this game that you could play, that you could get like more time out. I do recommend that if you buy this game, take your time with it, get to know the characters, do the side quests. I haven't really, I really haven't rushed it or anything, and that's why it's taken so long is because, I haven't rushed it. I've been trying to like do all of these, all of these little side things, to increase the, the bond between my characters and stuff. So it has taken just a little. I would say I'm pretty close to maybe 25 hours of gameplay doing all of that. So I definitely can recommend this game to you to buy. Even if you can, definitely if you can only buy one game in the next 3 months, but maybe not 6 months because, well, yeah, you know what? Gosh, what else is there out right now? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could definitely recommend you buy this. If you've got a Game Pass subscription, I could definitely recommend this as a buy. I recommend this as a buy. So basically, in conclusion, like I'm happy with Scarlet Nexus. It was a good game. I bought this game. I paid for it with my own money. I'm happy with it. I normally don't play JRPGs, but this one right here, this won me over, man. I like this game. I like this characters. I like the story. And yeah, I mean, the sound is good. The visuals look amazing. Yeah, gosh, I definitely like this game, man. If I had to put a number on it, I would say it's a good solid 90. It's pretty good. The only reason why it would lose those points is because it doesn't have realistic graphics, and that's what I like. No, I don't know. No, it's not that. I would say this game's a good 90. It's good. It's got a good story. It's coherent. Everything fits together. So, if you like this content and you want to see more, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I will see you in the next one.